So I sent this screenshot. Yep, go ahead, Dan. Over to my YouTube rep. And I was basically like, okay, I'm trying to understand what's going on here. It seems like this brand is buying views against this video. So you can actually see it on the left there. That's my left circle. I hadn't switched to a fold phone yet, so this was the interface I was dealing with. And I wanted to send just one screenshot because, I don't know, whatever, I did. So on the left, you can see the stair step of where the brand like ran an advertising campaign to buy views for this video, right?
Yeah.
So it got a lot of views, but you can see the watch time is
relatively tanked.
Basically negligible. Like not just doesn't track in lockstep with the views, because I would fully expect that a purchased viewer might not stick around for as long, right? As someone who...
Well, they might stick around for 5 seconds.
Comes across the content organically, right? So basically, my question to the YouTube rep was like, look, I understand that how a view is counted is sort of the secret sauce. YouTube doesn't share the criteria. But is it maybe possible for me to at least understand how something like this can happen? Curiously, there's been a small uptick in subscribers that seems to correspond to the campaign that's being run.
Really?
How do you get new views, new subscribers, but functionally 0 new watch time? Hi, Linus. Just getting back to you. Yep, since they're running it as an ad, it's not surprising people would be watching for far shorter than usual.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I get that. I'm just wondering why that qualifies. You can take it away, Dan. Why that qualifies as a view? It would seem like, organically, if people were finding this organically, a 3-second view or a 5-second view probably wouldn't count as a view. I have no answer on that. But what is very clear to me is that view doesn't necessarily have a set definition, because I don't think I've ever in my 18 years of uploading to YouTube ever seen a video
that's very strange
that tracked that far off for watch time and for views.
Which is clearly just people clicking skip ad.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Very clearly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, right?
I noticed this as well, by the way. I was trying to talk to somebody about how viewership on YouTube is mind-blowingly spiky these days. And how sometimes it's kind of surprising, because I thought that video was pretty good. And I went to bring up that video as an example, and I was like, whoa! Oh, because I was trying to point out that it had lower views than I would expect. And then I was like, what the heck? So I went on this huge tangent where I was like bringing up the dashboard, trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And then I saw those charts and was just like, okay, well, it's pretty obvious what happened.
Yeah, but nobody actually watched it, except a few people did because they subscribed to the channel. Unless there's whole bot networks snake eating its own tail, kind of that will watch. That will go out of their way to watch.
This doesn't feel like it was
and then subscribe
bot
or something.
network views. This feels like it was YouTube ad views.
Oh, that I don't know. Probably. Yeah. But no, what I'm saying is, no. What if there's bot networks that are designed to watch the ad content?
Oh.
And subscribe to it to seem like legitimate users, so that those bot accounts can be reused later or whatever. They're just farming new bot accounts or something. I don't
piggybacking on a system that exists to try to legitimize themselves in some way. Interesting.
And you know what? It's not the most egregious sort of abuse of metrics to make advertisers feel like they're getting something for their money that I've ever seen. I remember my old boss at NCIX, not Taryn, not the owner of the company, Jack. I remember him explaining to me how magazines and newspapers managed to sell their advertising for so much money. And it blew my mind at the time because, to me, a techie guy for whom 1 megahertz is 1 megahertz and nothing more, nothing less, right? To have something so emotional be sold and then bought by somebody was just, inconceivable, right? But he's like, yeah, so you got to understand that on the internet, you know, an ad view is an ad view, by and large, but with magazines, they would actually have like a multiplier. So first they would assume that every single magazine that was sold to a person who viewed every single ad in it.
But then they assume it's left on a coffee table or whatever else. Oh my God.
And I think the multiplier, you know, depending on the publication, could be 2x or even 5x. And these are just like assumptions that would be kind of like hidden in the footnotes of the sales deck. But
that's wild.
Yeah, right.
To a certain limited degree, sure. But there's no way it's as high as they were saying.
No, I mean, there's no way it was even one.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being real, like, what happened to an unsold magazine? It didn't get read by 3 people. Come on.
Also, not every single thing in the entire magazine is read. Back when magazines were a thing, it was very common to be like, oh yeah, I read front page and page 8, and that's it every time. I don't read anything else. So, I actually... Back in those days, I didn't know that many people that would read the whole thing. I don't think I knew anybody. So, anyways.
I mean, there are certain magazines that the articles were the only thing that I was interested in.
For sure. Yes. It's important to note as well.
Everything else was unnecessary filler. I would...
Sometimes there was filler on them.
And I would make sure... I would check every page. To verify if it was in fact filler, and I would look closely to be sure that I knew that it was certainly filler before I went past it.
Sometimes you might spend more time on those pages verifying that they were filler.
Yes.